Guys, Keith Eneix, Hardscape Marketing Crew. I want to show you the power of improving your lead to estimate rate in your business without spending any money on more marketing or anything else in your business, how you can improve and grow your business just from changing that one stat, a super powerful stat. And I'm going to show this to you using my own $2.5 million a year Hardscape business and how it affected us, real case study, when we improved our lead to estimate rate. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. And I want to show you first the numbers that we want to track. When you're managing your Hardscape business, you want to track 5 key numbers. It's your average job price, your average monthly leads, your average cost per lead, lead to estimate, and close rate. When you do that, we can calculate the revenue ceiling of your business. All right, let's dive in closer to this lead to estimate rate. Now, first off, we know what our average job price is, $26,000, about roughly 79 leads coming in per month. So we put that in there. Our average cost per lead is about $80. So we're spending roughly $6,000 per month on our marketing to produce what we're getting today. All right. So what happens if you increase your lead to estimate rate? In our business, we were running about 30% over the previous 12 months. And then we needed to increase our lead to estimate rate to get our salespeople more jobs. So we put something in place called automation in our business. That's something that you put in place utilizing Go High Level or even HubSpot or other forms of automation. All it means is in your business, you should be doing this, but every time a call or a form lead comes in, you follow up with it right away within the first 5 minutes. Well, that's kind of hard to do when you're on the job and you're busy, or maybe you're on the phone, or maybe it's at night and you're with your family, you're not really answering your phone. Well, how do you follow up with somebody really fast when you're in those situations and get back to that customer who potentially has that outdoor yard transformation that we really want? You do that with automation. And today, automation is so much easier than it used to be even in the past. So automation is one step better, but now we have AI. You can do voice AI, text AI follow-ups. It's amazing. You can make the AI sound like you. You can make the AI text like you. It's amazing. So lots of amazing things you can put into your business. So here's what we did. We first off put automation in our business. We wanted to, between the first lead coming in and that follow-up process to estimate, keep on following up. The average time that people follow up with opportunities, if you're a sales-focused business owner, is probably 2. That's what we find when we ask our hardscapers how many times they follow up with lead opportunities. I was talking with one of my clients and asked him, how many times do you follow up? He said 2. I said, great. Now, of the last 10 that you followed up with, how many of those did you actually follow up with twice? And he couldn't remember. And he had no system to go to where he could track that. That's why you need a CRM. No matter if you think you follow up with your clients a lot or not, it's impossible to keep it all in your head, and you need to rely on a system to keep it all organized. So that's what we put in place first. Got to have a CRM, organized pipeline in place. I can give you guys that pipeline if you want that we use within our Hardscape business. Got to get that in place. Next, leads come in. You got to have the right phone number, form coming into that CRM system. Now, you need to put the automations in place. So we put a follow-up sequence in place right away. When they call in, when they give that form, immediately there's a text that goes out. Now, there's a next level above that where you put AI in place, and AI can actually call them, set the appointment. Have you ever had a time where maybe you called up a couple times, and the best is if you could, but let's just say you call up a couple times and nobody picked up. So you said, okay, I'm done. Well, AI can continue to call 5, 7, and even beyond that. You could put them into a long-term nurturing sequence where automation emails go out, and then you tell your AI to follow up with them once a month and see if they want their job done until they say no. It's pretty impressive what we can do with AI today. All right, so there's a couple places we want to put this automation into. One, we want to make sure that that lead to estimate follow-up sequence is really strong. Second, when you give an estimate, have you ever given an estimate and then the client goes dark? Have you ever given an estimate, and this happens to us all the time, a year later, the customer comes back and says, hey, I'd like you to do that project. Well, what if you could make that more predictable with automations and follow-up, where you had AI and also email sequences reaching out, keeping you top of mind so that when they don't respond, when you send out that estimate, you're still top of mind if they're looking for someone to do that job later down the road. Okay. So have a 30% lead to estimate rate. And this is where we were. I want to show you what happens. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here so we can all see these numbers when you, and it's a real life case study of what happened to us when we increase that lead to estimate rate. So overall, let's just look at these. Monthly average revenue is going to be $186,000, about a $1.8 million a year business at this lead to estimate rate. Now I'm only going to change this to the number that we increased to, and you're going to see how much the business grew without spending any more money on marketing. And that number is 41%. All right. So we went from 30 to 41%. That was 11% increase. Boom. We went from 1.8 to 2.5 million. We're not spending a dollar more on marketing. Super powerful. All we did was put more automations in place, AI follow-up in place. And because we're booking more of the leads that were coming in, now our salespeople have more jobs to look at and close. But let's take a look and see how much this affects profitability in the business. Okay. I'm going to use numbers here. You can see below, these are some averages across the board that we see within our Hardscape clients and our business as well. So let's say your COGS or goods sold is somewhere around, 60%. Let's put that in there. All right. Overheads are 7 and your profit margin is about 33%. At the current marketing of this company, actually, it's a pretty good ROI, 29 ROI. That's actually pretty good. This company is going to profit $550,000. All right. That might not be as much as what you're profiting. It might be even less than what you're profiting, but $550,000. Let's see how this adjusts though when we improve our lead to estimate rate. So remember 550, 41, we went to 2.5 million. Now we're at $775,000. So not only are you increasing that revenue substantially, but also you're increasing profitability substantially just by improving that one number. So this is the power of just changing that single number in your business, lead to estimate rate. You can push the gas pedal down on getting more leads into your business. That's one way you can grow, but you can also improve your lead to estimate rate and massively grow your business and not work as hard chasing leads all over the place. In fact, you're going to work harder and harder chasing more and more leads instead of taking the leads that are coming in and just following up with those leads if you have the right automation and AI process in place. All right. If this has been helpful for you guys, give me a thumbs up, and thanks guys. We'll see you later.